Hello and welcome to the Dumb Aussies Guide to Baseball. Kevin, Michael, how are you boys?
Doing good here.
Doing all right now that I'm back on the Dumb Aussie show. I'm ready to teach the Dumb Aussie about 2026 baseball.
That is what I wanted to hear. I know, well, we're all frothing, I can already tell. Something right now is probably sticking out like dog's balls, and that would be our attire.
Okay.
I will first preface that by explaining what sticking out like dog's balls means. So that's I've since learnt that that's an Aussie phrase that means something is it's like the elephant in the room.
That's definitely an American saying, yes.
So yeah, something sticking out like dog's balls. It means it's blatantly obvious.
On closer inspection,
Son of a
And what is blatantly obvious is, brother, we are all attired in Ribera jackets. And Kevin, what does that mean?
So there is a steakhouse in Tokyo, Japan, that in the early 80s, somehow one of the foreigners, I believe that would be your favorite wrestler of all time. Is that your favorite wrestler of all time, Bruiser Brody?
I owe a lot to Bruiser Brody, so yes, he means a lot to me.
So I believe he is the guy that found the original location and went there and got a good solid steak for a good solid deal. And all of a sudden he tells all the other foreigners, like, guys, I got a place to go. And then ended up becoming like the place to go if you're an American wrestler visiting Japan. And they obviously took good care of these guys. And then somehow in the late 80s or so, they started making these satin jackets, and they would give one, and we're obviously the exception here. If you were a famous like American wrestler visiting Japan, you go there, they know who you are, you get a jacket. And that tradition is still continued until this day. Not all the time, because I remember meeting I haven't seen him in about a decade. Do you remember a guy? He was from Tijuana, El Generico. Do you remember that guy at all?
I think good.
I haven't heard from him. Last I knew, he had an orphanage in Tijuana.
I didn't.
But he had these Zubas pants. Do you know what Zubas pants are?
You'll see in some other content. So check out the Junk Shop Dog YouTube channel in the not too distant future. It will be abundantly clear that I do know. I might have worn them in my first visit to the Tokyo Dome.
That's great, because there's actually a wrestling connection to Zubas in that two of the original owners are Hawk and Animal from the Road Warriors, who were original investors in Zubas. And I don't know how in the world they also got these Zubas pants and just giving them out to wrestlers. They didn't have jackets available, And I'm only lucky enough to have this because someone I know, mysterious benefactor, who works. He works for a famous brand. Let me just say that
A traveling music band.
Yeah. So he had an extra one. He gave it to me saying, "I'm giving this to you on one stipulation," and it was that I had to stay retired. And I think I had 2 matches after that. Kayfabe.
Like a true wrestler.
And I like the colors too. I would normally not, this is like the emerald green, like Mitaro Misawa colors. So one of my closest friends is really jealous of this because Misawa was his guy. Michael, tell me about the story of you getting yours.
So mine
is bite off, right?
Yeah. I almost didn't get mine. I kind of lucked into it when I first was wrestling with Mr. Excitement in Osaka Pro. We actually flew into Tokyo, and it was a long flight, and we had brought too much luggage. I brought like 3 big bags with me. I'm not even too sure why. I definitely will not do that again. Gifts and stuff like that I was giving to people there. So we get there, we are totally tired. We're on the train, and we actually were hustling because we were going to have what's called a zero match, which is a dark match, on a little indie show in Tokyo.
Oh.
But we had to hustle and really get there. So we're on the train.
Hustle? Is that why you're saying that?
I wish it was hustle. If it was hustle, you would know way about it before now. But we it was like a little Tokyo indie, and I was going to wrestle Mr. Excitement, and we were trying to get there, and I am so bleary-eyed that I got off on the wrong stop.
Oh no.
And I was
And what year is this?
This is 2004.
Oh yeah, you don't have cell phones. Good luck.
Yeah, we the way just in general, we had to go to a hotel, and it was the Tokyo Green Hotel. The reason I know this is it was right across the street from
Corrigan Hall.
Right.
Because it's also the Tokyo Dome Hotel. I don't know if that's what it's called then. Is it a different hotel than that?
Well, I remember that specifically because we opened up our shades and we could see the Tokyo Dome right there. Right. And the reason we got that was we didn't have that initially. We were supposed to meet up with Kikutaro, and he was gonna, he arranged the show for us to be on this match. Anyway, I got off. We were totally lost. We didn't make the show. And we are sleeping at maybe about 11 o'clock, and we get a call in our room, and it's Kikutaro. He says, "Where are you?" And we're like, I don't know. We're bleary-eyed. And he goes, "Come downstairs. We go to Ribera." I hang up the phone, and I told Mr. Excitement, we're getting our jackets. So it was like it was midnight. We went there, and we had Ribera Mill out of nowhere. We literally woken up, and we went, and I got this jacket, and it's
your colors too. That's even better. Did they randomly give that to you?
So I had purple gear. I had purple. I had purple and gold. I had black and gold, and silver and something else. But yeah, this went with it. And I've only worn it once. This is the second time I've worn it. So it is a badge of honor and a definitely one of those rare items that as a wrestler that you get to get from your travels.
I think I'm still under some shroud of secrecy, but yes, I was lucky enough to be given one. Perhaps, as at the end of our dining experience. So, and I did my bit. I got the pound steak and enjoyed it so much. I got another.
Oh, wow.
And I was thrilled to get these colors because they are the ones worn by Dynamite Kid in his famous photos at Ribera. So stood in front of the barrel, and that was a bit of a thrill. So, but what it does mean is that I spent some time in Japan, and that's part of the reason why it's taken us so long to get from episode 2 to episode 3. So I apologize, completely my fault. And then some other things that stemmed off the back of that Japan trip led me to.
Is this the same thing in Australia as it is in England?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, good. Because I was going to thumbs down. I give you one of these.
So 100%, it's on me. But obviously we're talking Ribera, so that means we have all experienced Japan. Well, first things first, before I get into the selfish experience of talking about my trip, tell us how you guys pick apart the WBC as it was this year and your highlights out of it.
Well, first of all, Australia did very well in it, and that was a huge surprise. There was a lot of heat on the Team USA. I actually got to see Team USA in their first practice. They practiced at Scottsdale Stadium against the San Francisco Giants, and in 10 innings, they won 15-1 or something to that effect.
10 innings?
It was 10 innings, and they literally at the end of 9 said yeah, we still want to keep going. We have some other guys that want to get some extra swings in.
Oh, that's funny.
And so they went an extra inning, and I can say now that I've been to a game where it went into the 10th inning and it wasn't decided in that inning. And it was, I love it. But Team USA, they were, from literally inning 1, when you have, Bryce Harper, you have Judge, you have Kyle Schwarber, you have all these amazing players. And to their credit, they're so good. It looked like it was effortless. But they got a lot of criticism that they didn't take it as seriously as the other teams. There wasn't the kind of passion that you saw in Puerto Rico, Venezuela, just other of the other teams that were in the tournament really took it seriously and were really even Japan. They wore their hearts in their sleeves, their country, out there, and we were just kind of like, it seemed a little sleepwalking through it.
So I don't know if you heard this part. So after the U.S. beat Mexico, the manager told everyone, "Oh, we're on to the second round. Go have a good time." And then not knowing, and then it turns out Mark DeRosa, he might lose his job over this, didn't look at the fact that, nah, we're not through yet. If Italy beats the U.S., then we gotta, he didn't know that. So next thing you know, the guys are out having a good time, enjoying themselves, and then Italy getting all beamed up on their, was intent on making an impact, and they did. And Italy beat the U.S. So U.S. had to hope that Italy would beat Mexico in order for the U.S. even to get to the second round, which is nuts. And I'll have to add too is that this Japan team is not as good as the one that won the championship at the in the previous World Baseball Classic, and it's definitely been noted. I'm sure some higher up in Japan's like going, "This is not how it's supposed to go," because Japan obviously takes this very seriously. I don't know if you saw the video where Bryce Harper famously going, the Olympics are more important. And now, as a hardcore baseball fan, Michael, the World Baseball Classic now is the World Cup of baseball. And America now is just almost like how they are in the World Cup in soccer. Even though in baseball, they should have the best players in the world, the best team in the world. But it's a whole conundrum because there are multiple players who couldn't play because of insurance problems because players got hurt the last time. You have the MLB teams telling the manager or that guy can only go 3 innings or he can only pitch a certain amount of pitches. And I'm sure there are some of that restrictions with some of the major league players on other teams, but you're way more on the American team front than other teams. So definitely played an impact. But please tell everybody, watch the WBC. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. More fun than Major League Baseball, to be honest.
Well, I more or less, it was a mix of a lack of, because a lot of the games outside of the Australian group actually weren't put on TV over here. So ESPN carried all of the Australian games, which was fantastic. But a mixture of Australia being knocked out and the lack of coverage meant I basically threw the toys out of the cot once Australia got knocked out. But I thought they were fantastic. It was great to, as a novice, get to know some of the guys who aren't necessarily maybe plying their trades, in the minor league. So you don't get to see them play in the ABL, nor do you get to see them play in the major league. So that was fantastic. And the guys obviously loved playing for their country. And I think, we see that every time the basketball World Cup's on, every time the basketball's played at the Olympics, America lacks that. I don't want to say national pride because patriotism is one of the most frequently used words in America as we stand. But yeah, there is that lack of desire. Whereas, it's always been instilled in people outside of America for years. We had a guy who played point guard for the Australian basketball team. In '89, he got offered a tryout with the Boston Celtics and said no thanks because he didn't want to cost himself a spot at the Olympics, as was the case at the time. Phil the General Smythe, who actually got himself into a bit of trouble come '92 because he didn't want to play against Magic Johnson. But and never.
That's what changed. You're talking about American patriotism. That's what changed sports. Is that '92 was the first time they allowed professionals
absolutely
in. And believe me, I can tell you a huge thing in the Winter Olympics was the U.S. hockey team winning at the Olympics. The game aired here on the West Coast at 5:00 in the morning. I heard people came at 5 a.m. to watch U.S. Canada men's hockey. And I'm hoping as a result of that people care more about hockey in the aftermath. And I would hope for something similar like this with the World Baseball Classic. Who knows? But it's going to be more bigger for other countries as well as to America.
Yeah, I think look, it didn't have a huge effect on the Australian mainstream, but it certainly didn't do any harm.
You don't have to, like, let's say, if there's a player in Australia, they don't have to themselves be Australian, but they have, I think it's a parent, as like a decent recent relative who is Australian, then they can play on that team. That's why you see major league players on the Italy team, like a Vinny Pasquantino. Oh, thank you. And so here's the thing about that, which is interesting. So there's Vinny and a couple other guys who are major league ball players who are on the Italy team representing Italy, but they're not from Italy. But because Italy did so well in the World Baseball Classic, they qualified for the Olympics. Now, Vinny and these other guys, because they're not actually from Italy, won't be able to play on that team. So the Italy team is going to be way worse in the Olympics than they are in the WBC. It actually has to have to be native to their country.
I might just kind of stick with Japan, and look, I won't say that I did a lot of baseball tourism, but what I will do is show you a little slideshow. I was staying not far from the Tokyo Dome on this part of the trip. Fun fact, I've stayed at the Tokyo Green Hotel as well. You can't lay along the width of the room because you would hit your head. But so I decided to go to check out the Tokyo Dome City and what it offered from a baseball point of view. Now, what I didn't realize is that there was a concert at the Tokyo Dome that day, and I might have picked the wrong day to have checked it out. But I did manage to find a quieter spot, which was. I thought it was a really pleasant little wander through, and obviously this guy got a fair bit of a run because the first thing you walk through is the museum, going back to his fighters days. And there's the first ball that he ever pitched in Nippon Pro Baseball.
Wow.
Obviously some cool stuff about the history of Nippon Pro Baseball, and if I could read Japanese, I'm sure there was some really good yarns on those cards. But and not just Nippon Pro Baseball, but Babe Ruth's visit to Japan. A lot of focus on the World Baseball Classic.
Yep.
And then there was a great photo gallery.
Oh,
so some
awesome.
great shots taken around Japan. And then,
gosh, wow.
Yeah, that's a ripper, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then as you walk out, there's the actual Hall of Fame. So I took a few snaps of guys that you would be familiar with: Hideo Nomo, Hideki Matsui,
Godzilla.
Yes,
and it actually says that
Godzilla.
Yeah, the first words there in quotations, and Ichiro Suzuki. So
Ichiro, and let me add, Ichiro just got inducted this year or in 2025.
I thought, given that I obviously didn't lose focus of having baseball on the brain at that point, so I'm just going to grab a few things before you get to unwrap your presents.
Whoa! Oh my God!
Wowie!
Whoa!
So I got to say, the Hanshin Tigers everything had basically sold out, whereas it looked like the Giants had restocked. So this was as good as I could get. There wasn't even fitted hats with just the basic logo. It was all the wacky stuff that was left over. But yeah, I found some pretty fun things. So my first day there was a gacha machine that had these little
cool
players in their uniform. So this is the Oryx Buffaloes, and believe it or not, you could only buy them so obviously gacha machines are random, but you can only get them by league. So one machine had one league and another machine had the other.
Is
Oh,
it
wow.
Pacific and Central? I have to
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
I think that's what it is.
And the same goes on the plane. There was the highlights from the year, the best plays, but it
Oh,
was
wow.
only one league.
Oh, wow. And
Did
the
you
Oryx Buffaloes, if you're familiar with Black Buffalo from Osaka Pro, that's what it's based on.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I think
obviously Tiger's Mask.
Tiger's Mask, yeah. Well, on the Tigers, I managed to get a Sato-chan
Oh, yes.
soft final of the Tigers.
Oh,
So that was
wonderful.
that's definitely going in the pool room.
Love it.
So Adam, is that your team? Is the Honda Tigers your Japanese team?
Let's just. I think so, but let's.
'Cause
we may have more to come on that.
Because I know you're doing a WTF for the American teams.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the same thing for the Japanese teams?
Why not? Let's try.
Let's try
see
to
who we
find
can
someone
find.
to talk to from every single team.
Yeah.
I can find you somebody for the Nippon Ham Fighters. I can do that.
Yeah, well, I
give you
think
some.
we have a mutual friend, so
Yes. Oh, yes, of course. You met Tsukasa.
managed to find an outstanding card shop, so I got some American stuff.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
What
wonderful.
is that? Oh,
Trout.
trying to get-
Yeah, and still have some Nippon Pro Baseball cards to open.
Oh, right on.
So,
That's great.
So yeah, so I'll leave it to you guys. Michael, do you want to open yours first? Because I will
Sure.
say that Kevin's is definitely the main event.
Okay. Love it. And this box, you said it looked like it had been stepped on.
Yeah.
Hey, what was that logo on that box? What was that fancy logo I saw on the side there? JSD, Junk Shop. Is the process of the cost more difficult now with how things are in America? I was that
Yes.
curious
Tariffs.
for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So 10% on top.
Tariffs.
Wowee. So this is way more than I expected. By the way.
Good.
Oh my gosh.
So
Well, first of all,
this is your first. If I'm assuming there's figures in there, this is your first junk shop dog figures, right?
it is. And
I have some already. If I move my
wonderful.
camera over, no, I don't have mine on display tonight.
Well, this is a very, very of the times as well. I was very happy to stay up late with my friend Kevin here, and we watched the retirement match of this young gentleman. So Tanahashi, wonderful. These are so beautiful. Oh my God. You see them online, right? And they're not like real, but this is so, I can't wait to display this.
Now, Adam, can you briefly explain what the design is based off of? Since it's your line?
Yeah, so the carding and the style of figure is based on a figure line from 1981 by a company called Poppy, who made soft vinyl and before that die-cast metal figures, and they got absorbed by Bandai not long after. But basically, there's a series of 10 original figures, and we've based our line off that. And coming to the Junk Shop Dog YouTube channel sometime this year is a full documentary on the history of it, and a lot of it is stuff that I filmed in Japan while I was over there.
Right. Because I never heard this line, but the first time I was in Japan in 2012, early 2013, we were at I think it was a Mandrake shop, and I saw the Onto the Giant one in the store, and I was like, what the world is this? And I'm trying to figure out the translation from yen, but it would have been something like $250 American. I'm like, I'm not a collector, but I imagine now that figure is worth way more than $250 American.
Yeah, one went for about 5 times that last week.
Right. Yeah.
So this is a special one for me as well. When I first started my, it was kind of like a fanzine. It was wrestling. It was pop culture. It was music. And I called it Rudos. All the Rudos were super, that was still a new word to people. So I just kind of, I opted it, but I used this man as the little icon. And it is the Destroyer. And so good. Kevin, I'm still envious of Kevin getting to play park golf with this gentleman.
I didn't get to play directly with him, but I was in Buffalo, and I'm like, I am absolutely going I rented a car in like Cleveland. It's like Cleveland. Let me say it properly for you, Michael. That's just for you. You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about. So I drove to Buffalo, saw like a 10 a.m. Buffalo baseball game. And afterwards, I'm like, it's like about 34 minutes to where Sherwood Park Golf is. And I laughed because I was so excited seeing the barn. I didn't see he sits in a golf cart all day, just waving everybody who drives by. I pulled and didn't even realize that he was just out there. And I'm like, and I go in, I'm like, hi, is Mr. Meyer here? He's like, you didn't see him out front? I'm like, what? So I go out and I'm just talking to him for literally like an hour. And we're just talking, and I'm just like, having a great time chatting with him. Eventually, I think he figured out that I was smart to things, so he kind of like eased down a little bit. And when I tried to tell him I was a referee and a wrestler, and blah blah blah. And then a little bit, he's like, "Hey, you gonna play?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's more casual. But then all of a sudden, I'm playing park golf. Now, park golf is a thing. Was created in Japan, and there's mini golf, but this is like 100 or so yards a hole. It's huge in Japan because Japan's a lot smaller. They're not going to have full-size golf courses. So in America, a golf course hole would be like 300 yards, maybe even 500 yards. In park golf, each one's around 100 yards. And you get a ball that's like it's almost like a little bit large, small, bigger than a baseball. Around a baseball size, but a little bit lighter. And you get a bigger size, golf club to hit the ball. And all of a sudden, I'm like, yes, I'm going to try it. And I'm playing, and all of a sudden, the destroyer shows up. I'm like, oh my god! And he's watching me in the golf cart. He's like, and all of a sudden, he turns on the destroyer voice. Hey, kid, you need to hit it harder. And then he drives off in the golf cart. I'm like, yes, sir. And I was on like I think hole 9. And I wasn't doing that great. But on the back 9, I went 1 under par. So I'm like, thank you, Destroyer. Just tell me simply to hit it harder. But he was he was so great. Just talking to him. And I was just like, oh, I'm so lucky that I was able to pull this off. And, cheers to the Destroyer.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Oh my gosh. I had to look at this to see what exactly it is. Mr. Danger. Let's see if I can.
Oh, Matsunaga-san. Is that Matsunaga?
Yeah, yeah.
Matsunaga-san. Nice.
Oh, so that is awesome.
His steak is excellent. His hospitality is even better.
So, that's the business card. Oh. So you went to his because you went to the one he cooks at.
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to go to Ribera, Danger Steak for Mr. Matsunaga, and also Kawada's ramen restaurant, who was, let's just say he was far less accommodating than Matsunaga.
Did you buy a shirt so you at least get a photo?
Yes, I will put it up right now.
I'll
put it in post.
I might have to send you mine too so we can compare how happy he is to see all of us.
Yeah.
So I am super ecstatic. Talk about stars. Oh my gosh. Like, so Manami Toyota, I used to watch her and just watch her matches. And I'm like, how is this person so good at wrestling? And then when I saw Bull Nakano, I didn't realize that, because she was in the same circles. I had seen Bull Nakano during her WWF days, with Dump Matsumoto. And it was, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it was all together. So it was actually, I was following another person and I remembered Bull. And then Bull actually had that run in the 90s as well in WWF. This is so good. So tell me more about how this collaboration came together.
I never actually spoke to or met Bull until about a year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years ago. She was brought to Ballarat in country Victoria in Australia, of all places, for an appearance. We'd already made her figure. So that was done through...
I was going to ask that question. Like, what?
So
how did you make that deal without talking to her?
So that was done through a company that you guys would probably know called Hao Ming. So a clothing shop in Tokyo that it's almost entirely Japanese pro wrestling based clothing, I'll say. Not necessarily all merchandise, but themed. They bought our Brody and said, "Oh, we can help you get more talent." We got Bull, and from there, when I'd make the payments, I actually didn't speak to Bull. I spoke to Bull's husband, Daisuke, who is an ex-kickboxer.
Oh,
wow.
cool. I didn't know that.
Now, come that April 2024, so the figure had been out, I think, for about 2 or 3 years, but I'd never actually really spoken to her. She'd done a couple of videos and taken some photos, but that was about it. And yeah, we started chatting. It's a great icebreaker having a 7-year-old because he'd drawn a picture for her, and yeah, we got to know each other a little bit. We kept in touch. She was really kind and kind enough to get me into the Dump Matsumoto show when I was just over there in Japan on the 11th of January. At which point, yeah, we had a bit of a chat. It was like, it's funny, you meet someone once, but it was like seeing an old friend.
That's awesome.
And it was a real one of the most special moments of that time in Japan, where at the end of the show, so Dump was in the ring, her music still rolling, main event's just been run and won, and Bull, like, who's there as a second to Dump on the side of the ring, just runs over and beckons me. And some chairs are set up, and I get to take a photo with the two of them while Dump's music's still rolling. The Gokuaku Dome photo, banner still in the background. It was unbelievable. Whereas there's, this is at Shinkiba First Ring. There's, a couple of hundred Japanese people looking at me going, "Who the hell is this guy? And why did he get to jump the queue when we've all got a ticket waiting to get a photo?"
Right.
But that was pretty special. And then Bull got in contact and said, "Hey, look, I want to visit Australia again. I want to see Sydney, and I want to do an appearance." So it was my first crack at promoting. It was a great event, great afternoon. A lot of people enjoyed it. But I also got to play tour guide for a week with Bull and Daisuke. So they've become even closer friends. They went to Porsche's birthday dinner and bought Reg a birthday present. They bought him a WWF toy belt, which he loved.
That's so nice.
So it was a really special time. But yeah, part of that was, we did an appearance, an hour interview on stage and a signing. So yeah, it was fantastic, and it's just made us closer.
And I don't know if you can see there, Kevin, to disco. Love it. Love it. All right, so let's rip through this. Hanshin Tigers.
I'm so glad because I didn't get him a Hanshin ball.
And it's
that just takes a big old weight off my shoulder. Nice. Heck yeah. Do we know who that autograph is?
I want to say it's and I reckon it might be Shoki Murakami.
So I love baseballs. I collect baseballs. This is amazing. Thank you so much. And actually, I have a case, right? Somebody gave me a case, but it didn't. Yes, he bought me a baseball, but it actually just came with the case. Or actually, you're supposed to take it up there and get the ball, right? I think that was
no. What it was is I misread, and not I read a lot of Japanese. Obviously, my Japanese is okay at best.
Skoshi.
I just want a basic logo ball, and I'm like, I don't know if I'll get him an autograph ball. I don't think I have the logo on it. So I saw the cheapest one. I thought it was like a mystery one, and then it turned out it was just the case.
So I have a case, and I could put that in the case.
Yes.
So that it all works out.
There we go. Problem solved. Thank you.
And this, I can't wait to wear this. Stan Hansen, Hanshin Tigers.
Whoa.
And it's got the.
Oh my God! So now you have 2 Hanshin Tiger wrestlers.
Yeah, I have a Ishii has.
Ishii. I gave him a Toru Ishii wrestling shirt years ago.
Oh, this is wonderful! Thank you so much.
No, I'm glad. I'm relieved that you like it. Now, what's Stan Hansen's other link to baseball?
Did he play baseball at West Texas State University?
He may have, but that's not what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Another baseball connection.
I mean, wrestle at the Tokyo Dome. Is that what you're thinking of?
Keep going.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Is it? Does it have to do with a player in baseball, or
Yeah, I would say so.
did this player used to wrestle, or was it
No.
strictly baseball?
Strictly baseball.
Ooh, you might have stumped us.
I know. Yeah, this
The
is
dumb Aussie might have stumped his so-called experts. Here it comes.
Oh my goodness! Are you serious?
That's his son?
That's his son.
Oh, wow.
So he played for Clinton, the
Lumberjacks.
the Lumber Kings.
Oh, Lumber Kings. Sorry, Lumber Kings. You're right.
So if I've there's a little history of his
He played in High Desert.
Man, I could have saw him play. I might have saw him play.
So both of these teams don't exist anymore. But I've seen Clinton, and then we both saw the last games of the Desert Mavericks.
Yes.
High Desert Mavericks. Holy cow! I never knew any of this.
I didn't know that. Shaver Hansen. Let's see what we got here. Oh, well, immediately I see a pin from the Baseball Hall of Fame, which I love because I didn't buy this for myself. I bought myself chopsticks. Now, Adam, why don't you tell Michael how you buy merchandise at the Baseball Hall of Fame in Tokyo?
Well, like many other things in Japan, through a vending machine.
Yep. I couldn't believe it when I saw it myself.
Fantastic.
I was kind of blown away by it. Like, well, what? All right. Oh, we're good. I'm going with the gotcha machine right away. So mine is the Yomiuri Giants, which I'm like, I'll accept it. Let's see if I can get this stupid thing open. It looks like it's is this a keychain?
Have a look.
I'm trying to open it. Sorry. Because these things are not easy to open. Sometimes I've had people put tape on these things to where it's like practically impossible to open. There we go. I'm going to rip this thing open here. So, it's a pin. Look at this. It's like
it's a tie pin.
It's a tie pin. If I want next time I wear a tie, I'll go put this Yomiuri Giants on there.
Next court appearance, you can wear a Yomiuri.
Hey! Hey, that's enough out of you, sir. That's enough out of you. I guess Michael Mondragon.
Yes, sir.
I mean, apparently I'm no. I can go back to you of Kevin from Boulder, Colorado. So I appreciate having this.
It's more personal.
It's definitely more personal. And I gotta say, I did see both. The only time I saw Boulder, Colorado against Alundra Blaze, Medusa, and I like Boulder, Colorado enough to where I bought her figure at a show I saw Adam with in LA. Meanwhile, I could have bought Aja Kong figure at the same time and got signed by Aja Kong right there in person. But I chose to buy Bull Nakano figure instead. So much love to Bull Nakano. Yes. Thank you very much, Adam. Oh my! Now
Oh my gosh!
I got a Los Angeles Dodgers elephant, or what?
Yeah. So our friend Sukasa refers to Sato-chan as he's a very famous elephant. But he's a mascot for a pharmaceutical company.
Right.
But he gets. I haven't done enough research to find out whether it's a giveaway or his toys are actually sold, because I bought both of them at Nakano Broadway.
Nakano Broadway is you can find anything you want there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you happen to know?
I don't know.
Is an area code in Los Angeles? Let me.
Well, he's got 310 on the back of this one
as
well.
Okay. So this is the LA thing through your nose, an area code in LA, but this is definitely gonna be on my shelf now. Thank you for that. All right. I feel something soft. What in the world is? Oh my God! What in the world is this?
So in honor of your yelling out at the World Series,
I got a bin chicken.
So I feel like this needs. I feel bad now. I should have bought more, and there should have been one in your package as well, Michael.
Woo! But I yelled this out at Game 3 of the World Series. I had Ben Chickens, and I don't know if anybody heard it except for me and the people going, "What in the world is this guy talking about?" I now have a Ben Chicken. It doesn't mean I'm going to support your team in our fantasy league because they are called the Aussie Ben Chickens, but I respect you giving me a Ben Chicken. I appreciate
wonderful.
it.
I feel like he's definitely the show mascot, and I feel like in honor of the Australian #1 draft pick, we need to call him Baz.
A grand slam from Travis Bazana.
So I'm going to need you to, oh my
gosh.
So check this out. Now, can you, I know this is Ichiro on the Blue Wave, which no longer exists. Is the Blue Wave now the Oryx Buffaloes? I believe it is.
I believe so, yeah.
So can you tell me more about what this item is? Because it's not just an 8x10, it's like a little booklet.
No, so it's very common to receive or to keep, like as a way of fandom, to keep your paper in a folder. So Yuji Nagata gave us his signed 8x10s in something like that with him on the front.
But that is so cool.
That is wonderful.
Love me some Ichiro. I saw the figure and I'm like, I'm going to wait on that because I love that figure. Let me see. Because there's one figure I don't want to show. I had a feeling something was in here I don't want to show off. Now I see the Ace of the Universe. Here's Mr. Tanahashi. Now, is this different than what you got?
Yeah, so this is the alternate version. So this is from Wrestle Kingdom 6 against Minoru Suzuki.
Oh my gosh, that's like 2012?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
Because I saw him and Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, I want to say 7 in 2013.
Well, Okada challenged him after that match.
That was when Okada first showed up, and everyone's like, what in the world is... He beat Yoshihashi in not a great match. And it was like...
Wow.
Then Okada had an amazing run, and then went to AEW, and we don't want to talk about that. But we can talk about this beautiful Tanahashi figure.
Wonderful.
I love this. Thank you so much. Oh my God. I have two things of this here. I don't know which one of these items I want to talk about last. It might be a double whammy. This one is, I'm putting away because I asked for something specifically, Michael, for a future guest on our show, not Adam's show. So I have a double main event. Wrestling and not wrestling Michael Mondragon. I don't know who I want to show first.
All right.
I think I'll leave it. I'm going to show you my non-wrestling one. Are you ready for this? I don't know if you're aware of this. Mr. Adam made a figure. Are you ready for this? Of one of the most amazing underground movie directors of all time, John Waters.
Wow. Oh,
and once I found out he made this, I was like, Adam, I would love the chance to have one of these.
Zap!
Wow.
And I will usually see John Waters in person. He hosts a punk rock garage festival in Oakland, California every year called the Monsterwood Meltdown. And I'm going this year because it's Iggy Pop headlining one night, Bikini Kill headlining the second night. And if I have to see Mr. Waters, I might have to be the one time where I'm like, you this?
That was...
This is something I need for my favorite wrestler of all time. I don't have this one, so I'm glad to have it added to my other one.
Nice.
Hey, I might have worn this when I quit, but you know what? He's number one in my heart, no matter whether he quit or not. But this is the other. So there's 3 Terry Funk figures you made. Is that correct, Adam?
Yeah, technically yes. So there's this one. There's this one. There's the edition of him, I guess, walking out to his retirement match in '83.
And that's the one I have.
And then there's an after version, I guess you'd say, where he's bloody and effectively about to say, "Forever." Excellent.
Thank you, Adam.
No,
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, hopefully you get something out of it. And in terms of Japan, I will make some smaller videos where we'll open up some cards,
Oh,
Heck
love
yeah.
it.
and I may have had a little project for myself over there, and basically find out how many times I can see a photo of Mr. Otani.
Oh my gosh. That's yeah.
And that's coming to this YouTube channel
I love
very
it.
shortly. I wanted to get your thoughts in terms of where the season's going to head, and I've got four things I want you guys to predict. So, what I want to know is who you think is going to win the World Series, who you think is going to win each league, and as a bit of a curveball, which team you think is going to make the biggest move in terms of their positioning or their status, maybe make the postseason for the first time in a while, or maybe even go further.
I'll go first. I'm going to go on a limb here. Toronto did really good last year, obviously making it to the World Series and almost winning it, coming within inches.
They should have. I mean,
they
should have won the series. It's just,
and they were not picked to be in the World Series for sure.
Right.
But there's a team that was actually there in 2006, and they lost to my St. Louis Cardinals. I say the team I follow, and actually the St. Louis Cardinals that year were statistically the worst World Series champions ever, but they played against Justin Verlander, who was a rookie that year, the Detroit Tigers.
Oh
and
man,
the Detroit Tigers
I like that pick.
Were a big in the 60s. They also had some other good years, but 84 they won. All right, was it 84? Yeah.
84 they won the World Series. Yes, sir.
And so they finally got back in 2006, but it's been 20 years. And I'm going to go on a limb and say that they're going to make the biggest move. Have some really good players.
So they added from Valdez, who's like who got $30 million right before Tarek Skubal got his big contract in arbitration. Yeah. And like they have some great pitchers, and Verlander could still go. Man, you know what? They got a good shot.
Yeah,
a good shot.
They've definitely loaded up. Now, National League. So I'm going to now last year the Dodgers they were good, but they weren't great, but they're built to win. Yeah. So I'm going to go on a limb here. And I'm gonna go this. Nobody's picking this team, I don't think. I'm gonna go with the New York Mets.
What?
Wow. Go with the New York Mets.
I was thinking you were gonna go like Cubs or something like that, because Cubs could be right there too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I'm just throwing it out there because now's the time to do it.
Enjoy yourself.
I do. But I'll say that the Mets will be involved somehow.
So, and his other question was, who do you think is going to is there a team that's going to be making a big improvement or anything like that?
That team will be, and they've been really down in these years. The Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh,
I think the Pittsburgh Pirates will actually make some moves this year, and they'll be sneaky good. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Right on.
No real rhyme or reason. Right. I'm just throwing it out there. Just in 9 months, I'll either look like really smart or really dumb.
So for myself, there's two teams I was looking at that was going to go upward, but the one that might sneak into the playoffs and win a division because they're not in the best position is the Kansas City Royals. I think the Royals have a chance to really get up there and sneak in and win the division because they have some good. They have a couple good pitchers. They have one of the best players in baseball, Bobby Witt Jr. They have Vinny. Help me with the last name again.
Pasquantino,
thank you. They have a guy named Jack Caglione that they really are hoping is going to do well. Apparently, the dimensions have changed that might make it better for the batters. And they have a couple good pitching in there, and I'm like, you know what? Those guys might be good enough to win that division and make a good run. Because otherwise, I was thinking the Orioles. I'm like, but the Orioles are always about right there. But they made some really good improvements. And the Mets, have to, but I'm gonna say the Royals to be the one to make a better move this year overall. National League, I hate to say it, I'm gonna be very biased here, but you got to beat the Dodgers in order to like.
Yeah,
it's like the Dodgers are the team to beat. But I don't see anyone being able to beat the Dodgers in the National League or the World Series overall. I hate to sound like a homer, but I just don't see any team yet there to beat the Dodgers in the World Series. And the American League, you could flip a coin. I think it's going to be either the Blue Jays or the Yankees, most likely. As much as I hate to say that, because you're going to have a healthy Garrett Cole. The Blue Jays are as good as not better. And you got a good chance of the Mets now because they got Bo Bichette in there. But, the Yankees didn't make much movement and people were mad about them. I'm like, why would you? They got a good solid foundation and they re-signed their guys. And as long as their guys are healthy and Garrett Cole comes back healthy, they can make a heck of a run.
Yeah. And there's
flip a coin right now, and if I say
come on, get the splinters out of your ass. Give us one team.
I'm giving you you know what? All right, let's go. I'm gonna piss everybody off. Let's go Yankees, Dodgers, World Series, Dodgers win.
There you go. That and there's also a team that we're all pulling for that has never been to a World Series, and that is the Seattle Mariners.
Yep. Yeah.
And they very well could win this year as well. That's
and you know what? I can tell you another team that's going to definitely make an upward movement this year is the Astros. The Astros, I think, are going to improve even better than they already were, because if Yordan Alvarez has a healthy season, he could be the MVP of the American League.
Yep.
He's that good. It's just he's had injuries. And now they have the new Japanese pitcher Umai, who's going to make a great difference for them. So watch out for the Astros too. I definitely say that. Yep. Adam, who do you have winning the World Series, and who are your champions? Projected?
All right, I'm gonna offer some horrific opinions. That's part of learning, and maybe we can have a look at this in 12 months' time and discuss why they were such horrific opinions. So it's funny you say you did mention Baltimore, Kevin. I thought they'd be the mover.
Yeah, I could easily see that.
I think. I think the Mariners will win the AL.
Oh wow!
I think with the National League, it would be too easy to pick the Dodgers. So you know what? I'm going to go with the Phillies.
Wow!
And go with the Mariners overall.
Wow! Now that's a bold one. Mariners win the World Series. I have some friends who would love you saying that.
Well, and I say that because, and I'll admit a huge West Coast bias, because not because there's any other reason other than they're the teams I get to watch the most because of the time zones.
Yep.
So there is a lot of that. So I have to already proclaim a West Coast bias, which I don't think necessarily sits that badly with you guys.
Yes.
I'm watching the West Coast teams anyway, for the most part.
What are you guys wearing today?
Oh.
So Kevin and I did not coordinate this.
We just had to buy We just had to buy them at the same time.
Yes. So
that's the uncoordination.
One of the great things that we keep our eyes out for is sales. And whenever they're discontinuing hats, we like to get in on it. And we saw this one's. I think someone had given us the Iggy, as it were, to say, "Oh, these are some $5 hats." And then,
this one's even less than that.
that was what I was going to say. It's like you literally could put a code in, and it would be even less than $5. And these are really nice hats. I mean, they're like the standard new era hats. And but they were discontinuing them because now this is the Oklahoma City. They're actually the AAA for the Dodgers, and so they're changing their identity. They
already did.
That's
the thing they already had. They became the Comets. They were the 89ers. Is that correct?
I thought that they were. I think they were like the Dodgers as well. Or what are they?
I know this team used to be called like the 89ers for some reason. I
think that was in the earlier days, right?
So this guy here is Abner. And he was like, I don't know if he's their mascot or whatever. But Michael at the same time saw this hat was like $2 American, and then shipping be like $5-6. I'm like, you know what? A nice fitted hat for that cheap? Absolutely.
Yes.
And then it turned out he bought the same hat at the same time.
Yes.
So like, and we said, yeah.
And is Abner, would that be Abner Doubleday?
I don't, maybe there's a famous Abner in Oklahoma I don't know about, but otherwise I'd say yes.
Little Abner, the cartoon character?
Cartoon character, yes. You're Adam, now we're going to lose Adam.
Now we're going to
mate, this is,
whew. So I don't know if I can get a good look at this. So a friend of mine bought me this shirt. It's a bootleg. It's a store in Little Tokyo called Cools. That's why you see the cool there, Cools. And this is an Ohtani bootleg they made. They made this one, which is him pitching, but there's also one of him hitting. So it's Monster Cool. So it's Ohtani as a monster. And I'm like, I need an Ohtani pitching shirt. So now I have 2 long sleeve Ohtani bootleg shirts, which I love. I love it. I love having that.
As discussed earlier, I'm representing the Hanshin Tigers. And geez, hasn't the stocks in this hat gone up in the last couple of months?
There you go.
It's funny. This is a new era from about 10 years ago. But the most latest version of this, which differs very little, actually sold out on the MLB.
Wow.
On the MLB website over the World Baseball Classic, and as did the Bazana shirt.
Nice.
So hopefully our mascot's namesake can crack it for the majors this year. I know he was pretty good in the WBC, and he hit 2 home runs in a warm-up game a couple of days ago, including a grand slam. So how are you guys going to enjoy opening day?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm actually going to, usually what I do is I work, but I have it on, I have baseball playing all day during the baseball season. I literally have the MLB package. So I just flip around. And now that we're playing fantasy baseball, that actually adds an extra added element. And you're in our league, Adam, and I'm so ecstatic for you. And I'm even more ecstatic that the beginner's luck is you got the first pick in our draft. And got to draft Ohtani, which was, how did that feel? How did that whole process, how did you feel about that?
Look, I've not been a big player of fantasy sports. So in Australia, we have Supercoach, which is for Australian rules football. Typically, it's not something where you have a draft. So players are not exclusive to teams. So I tell you what, the draft was a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great.
And this is part of my ignorance. A lot of my picking was based on guys I've heard of, best possible, and then I thought, oh crap, I need more pitchers. So picking the highest possible pitcher, even though I'll be honest, a lot of those, particularly on the East Coast, they're pitchers I'd never heard of. But hopefully it's something I can learn through this season and start to at least keep pace with you guys when we have the predictions and that kind of a discussion.
Yeah. Well, and I could tell you and anybody else who serves fantasy baseball, it's not just a draft and I'm done. It's if you want to do well, you're gonna have to spend 5-10 minutes of every single day looking to see who's playing that day, edit your lineups accordingly, because if you have a pitcher, you will make sure you have him in your lineup that day. If oh my God, this team's not playing this day. Oh, a guy on my bench, their team's playing that day, and put him in there. It's not just a let it sit. Football. This is why fantasy football picked up way more here in America, because it's 1 week. Once we got the check, the word fantasy wasn't even a thing in sports. This was originally called rotisserie baseball, created by some guys in the 1980s where they had this idea. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, what is this rotisserie baseball? And there was a book I'd buy, and I'd buy it and read about it, but I couldn't even do it because I was in like junior high school or like 15 in high school going, how do I do this? And eventually I got to do it. And I'm like, this is fun. But this is back when you're literally reading the newspaper and putting the stats and adding the stats manually. So thank goodness for the internet that it gets done for us.
But what is the best approach to drafting?
So what I say is, and we had a couple other people that were new in the league, and I just told them, right now, all you're trying to do is fill your positions and take the best players. Literally, if you don't have to overthink it. And we have 14 teams in our league, so every team's going to be thin. When it's not going to be loaded with stars, like you're not going to have one team that's super loaded. You might have a few more than others. Like you have one of the best players in baseball that's going to make up for a lot of the players that aren't doing so well. And so yeah, literally just keeping it simple. And now you can learn the day-to-day players, their rhythms, and when they pitch, and taking them out when they get hurt. Like you can actually swap them out. So it's all a learning process at this point. But I think that's the best strategy.
And this league and what we're doing is just for fun, but it's just a matter of just learning. Oh, okay, I gotta just keep an eye on the games, see who's playing what day, and just, oh, this guy got hurt. Oh God, is he okay? And luckily, I think you might be able to get notifications about how a guy's doing, but if not, just check a lineup on a daily basis. I tell this to anybody doing fantasy. If you have the time, just take 5-10 minutes before, a couple hours before the games are going to start, and be like, all right, how are we looking here? Cool, because a couple hours before game time, they'll usually know a starting lineup, and they'll show you if your player is starting that night.
Yeah.
And that makes it a lot easier for you to figure out.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, my catcher's not, or maybe not my catcher. Let me say, like, oh my God, my first base is not starting in the lineup. Like, do I have another first base on the bench I can put in that spot? It's
Right.
something like that, and that'll help you. Because the way our league is and a lot of leagues are nowadays is if you play a team over the course of a week, and there's 10 categories, and the best, if you get the better score in that category, you get 1 point. And that's how it goes.
Gentlemen, as always, how do we get in touch with you, Michael?
I'm at Mondragon Design. That's my direct one with all my graphic design. But we're also at Beer Baseball on all the socials. Definitely check us out. We're doing new and fun things all the time.
I'm doing open day weekend. I'm going to be in Anaheim, California, Angel Stadium, Friday and Saturday to see not Major League Baseball, but the Savannah Bananas against the newest team in the Banana Ball League called the Indianapolis Clowns, which actually was an original Negro League team back up until the 1950s. Like Hank Aaron actually played on that team before he joined the major leagues. And the Negro League Museum made a deal with the Savannah Bananas in order to bring back the Indianapolis Clowns for this league. So, and I'm fortunate enough to where I already have these banana tickets. And I'm like, oh, they're playing the Clowns. That's really cool to see. And Savannah Bananas, I don't know if you know the Harlem Globetrotters. We say it's the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. In that it's nothing to take too seriously. It's just to go out, have a great time, watch some baseball, and just be invested in baseball. I see a lot of kids at these games who are so excited. And you don't see that nowadays with a lot of younger kids with baseball.
So we can keep up with your opening weekend bananas.
Besides your baseball, you can look me up at LOKNLOLL on Twitter and Instagram. And also, if you ever want to see the show that Michael and I do, look up Baseball Brew Crew on YouTube. Our last show a few weeks ago was with Del James, the road manager or tour manager, I say, of Guns N' Roses. We had a really great chat there. Hopefully, Adam, we can have you on our show at some time to talk to you. And otherwise, cheers, everybody. I thank you for watching us.
I got to say, I strongly recommend the last couple of episodes. Del is just one of the most interesting people I've met, and just the amount of layers that you pull off. And he's, the guy was an extra in Police Academy. What the hell?
And Adam, that was gonna be you on. That was gonna be your show, and then you couldn't make it, so we made it our show.
No, I wouldn't have had it any other way. That was fantastic.
So
and
maybe another point, it'll be the three of us of Dell.
And Ian was fantastic. Ian Riccoboni, the Ring of Honor announcer, was fantastic as well, and clearly a guy that loves his baseball. So
we didn't know him. I cold messaged him.
Yeah,
right.
Now
it's just a gold mine. I did not know how deep he was in the baseball scene. I'm like, oh, he made a half of my early team. So I cold texted him on Instagram, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know we had this. That's great.
Yeah, well, as we're kind of dropping this in, and you'll see some pre-recorded episodes of us talking from 2025 later on in the series. So the next in our series will be the WTF Who to Follow. First up will be, well, speaking of wrestling, it'll be Brian Myers talking about the Mets.
Wow. Yes.
Let's just say when we recorded, he was a little colder on the Mets than you were, Michael. But I think it's
baseball.
Absolutely, and I think it's someone who clearly loves baseball, and that's what we're looking for through this show is to get that love of baseball. And he definitely, I can identify with the riding the highs and lows of a sports team. So that was a good yarn, and as are all of the people that I've spoken to and that you'll soon see through the WTF series. To follow us, we're on Instagram at Dumb Aussie BB, and fire through with any topics or suggestions or questions, because as always, there are no dumb questions. Kevin?
Just a dumb Aussie.
Excellent. We'll see you next week.